Have you ever eaten something so small, so ordinary looking, that you didn't even realize it was hiding more protein than the eggs sitting in your fridge? I'm talking about a seed you've probably walked past in the grocery store 100 times without realizing that it can help protect your muscle mass, keep you fuller longer, and support your body as you age. And no, it's not chia seeds, it's not flax seeds, and it's not hemp seeds. This one surprises almost everyone. Today I'm breaking down exactly why this tiny seed is beating eggs gram for gram in protein density, why so many researchers are talking about it in the conversation around sarcopenia, and how you can add it into your diet starting today in the easiest, tastiest ways possible. Stick around, because by the time you finish this video, you're going to want to grab a bag of these immediately. All right, let's dive in. When we think of protein, most people default to the classics. Chicken breast, eggs, Greek yogurt, maybe whey protein. And yeah, those are great. But what if I told you that there's a plant-based option, a seed, that delivers even more protein per 100 grams than eggs and comes with extra nutrients eggs don't have? This seed is pumpkin seeds. Yep. Pumpkin seeds, also called pepidus, are absolute protein powerhouses. And the funny thing is, most people eat them occasionally without realizing just how strong they are when it comes to building muscle and supporting healthy aging. Before we get deeper, let me explain why this matters, especially when it comes to sarcopenia, which is basically the loss of muscle mass that naturally happens as we get older. A lot of people think sarcopenia just happens after 60, but studies show the process actually begins around age 30. And from that point on, unless you're intentional about your protein intake and strength training, your body slowly loses muscle every single year. This is why someone can reach their 40s or 50s and suddenly feel weaker, slower, or less stable. It didn't happen overnight. Your body was quietly losing muscle for years. The good news is that muscle loss is not an unstoppable process. The human body responds incredibly well to the right foods, the right training, and the right recovery. And protein, especially high-quality protein, is at the center of that. That's why eggs are always brought into the conversation. They're considered the gold standard of protein quality. But the thing is, if you look at the actual numbers, pumpkin seeds are packing even more protein per 100 grams than eggs do. Eggs give you roughly 13 grams of protein per 100 grams. Pumpkin seeds, they hit around 30 grams. That's more than double. And on top of that, they bring magnesium, zinc, healthy fats, antioxidants, and fiber. Nutrients that all work together to support metabolic health, muscle repair, and recovery. Here's where things get really interesting. A lot of people think you need animal protein to build muscle or to fight age-related muscle loss. But the science is shifting. What really matters is total protein intake, amino acid profile, and consistently meeting your daily needs. Pumpkin seeds contain a surprisingly strong amino acid profile, especially glutamate, leucine, and arginine, which all support muscle protein synthesis in different ways. Are pumpkin seeds identical to eggs in terms of amino acid balance? No. But when you include them as part of your daily protein intake, they easily help you hit targets that keep your muscles fed and strong. Let's talk about something most people never think about: convenience. Pumpkin seeds are ridiculously easy to add into your day. No cooking, no prep, no cleanup, no refrigeration. Just grab a handful, throw them into oatmeal, sprinkle them on a salad, blend them into a smoothie, or use them as a crunchy topping. Compare that to eggs. You need heat, a pan, maybe oil, and you have to cook them fresh. Pumpkin seeds, They're basically the always ready, always clean, always portable version of a high protein food. This makes them perfect for busy people, students, travelers, shift workers, and honestly anyone who wants to boost their protein without adding another chore to their day. But let's go deeper, because protein is only part of the reason pumpkin seeds shine. When it comes to muscle retention, magnesium is one of the most overlooked minerals. It controls muscle function, nerve function, recovery, energy production. You name it. And guess what? Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest natural sources of magnesium you can eat. Most people are magnesium deficient without even realizing it. This leads to fatigue, poor muscle function, sluggish workouts, and slow recovery. When you add pumpkin seeds into your daily routine, you're giving your muscles the minerals they need to function optimally. Eggs don't provide that level of magnesium, not even close. And then there's zinc, another big one for muscle health, especially for men. Zinc helps with testosterone production, immune function, and overall metabolic health. Pumpkin seeds are famous for their zinc content. Again, no cooking required. Just eat them. I know some of you might be thinking, okay, that's great, but how much do I actually need to eat to feel a difference? The answer is not a lot. 2 to 3 tablespoons a day, around 20 to 30 grams, is enough to give you a meaningful protein boost. If you're trying to build muscle or protect yourself from sarcopenia, you might go a bit higher, like a 1/4 cup or even 1/3 of a cup. But the key is consistency. It's better to eat a little bit every single day than to eat a huge serving once a week. Now let's talk about taste, because I know food only works if you actually enjoy eating it. Pumpkin seeds have this nutty, roasted flavor that works in both sweet and savory dishes. Try them in your morning oatmeal or yogurt. Blend them into a protein shake for extra thickness. Toss them into a salad. Use them as a crunchy topping on roasted veggies. Mix them into trail mix with dark chocolate. Make a pesto with pumpkin seeds instead of pine nuts. It tastes incredible and gives you more protein. You can even grind them into pumpkin seed butter. Spread it on toast, add it to smoothies, drizzle it on fruit. It's delicious. One of my favorite hacks is using pumpkin seeds in homemade energy bites. Oats, dates, pumpkin seeds, a bit of peanut butter, maybe some cacao powder. Press it all together, freeze it done. High protein, no prep, no excuses. Something else that's cool about pumpkin seeds is how they work for people who don't tolerate dairy or eggs well. A lot of people have mild sensitivities to eggs without realizing it. They eat them, they feel bloated or sluggish, and they just think it's normal. Plant-based protein sources like pumpkin seeds can help those people get the muscle, supporting nutrients they need without irritation. But I want to make something very clear. I'm not telling you pumpkin seeds should replace eggs. Eggs are an excellent food too. What I am saying is that pumpkin seeds deserve way more respect when it comes to protein and muscle health. If you're trying to fight off sarcopenia or simply stay strong and active as you age, you should be thinking about total protein intake, however you build it. Pumpkin seeds are an easy, affordable, nutrient-dense way to close the gap. Most people are not eating enough protein. Most people don't even come close. And when I look at their daily meals, the biggest problem is convenience. People know they need more protein. They just don't want to cook another chicken breast. They don't have time to meal prep. They forget to thaw meat the night before. Pumpkin seeds remove all of those barriers. Let's shift for a moment and talk about performance. When you exercise, whether it's lifting weights, walking uphill, doing pilates, or even carrying groceries, your muscles experience little micro tears. That's normal. That's how the body grows stronger. But you need the right nutrients to repair those fibers. Pumpkin seeds help support that repair process with protein, magnesium, manganese, and antioxidants. They support your nervous system so the signals between your brain and muscles remain sharp. They help regulate muscle contractions. They help reduce that heavy, sore feeling after a tough workout. They work behind the scenes to keep everything running smoothly. Some people ask, can something as small as a seed really make that big of a difference? Yes, when it's packed with nutrients and eaten consistently. Think about something like chia seeds or flax seeds. Their benefits are huge despite their size. Pumpkin seeds are the same way. Small doesn't mean weak. It means concentrated. If we're talking specifically about sarcopenia, here's a quick reminder. Muscle loss isn't just about appearance or strength. It affects your mobility, your metabolism, your joint stability, your balance, your ability to burn calories, and literally your quality of life. This is why every expert, nutritionists, trainers, sports scientists, keeps repeating the same thing: eat more protein and train your muscles. Pumpkin seeds make that first part simpler. I want you to imagine your future self for a moment, not 10 years from now, not 5. Just 1 week from now, if you started adding pumpkin seeds to your diet today, a week of better magnesium intake, a week of higher protein, a week of supporting your muscles, a week of eating something that fits into your lifestyle without any hassle. Then imagine a month. Then imagine a year. Do you see how small habits turn into powerful results? This is one of those habits. Simple, affordable, effective. Let's talk about athletes for a second. A lot of athletes use pumpkin seed protein powder now because of its digestibility and amino acid profile. So even in the fitness world, pumpkin seeds are getting respect. You don't need to buy the powder though. Whole seeds work perfectly for everyday use. And eating them whole gives you fiber, which is something most people aren't getting nearly enough of. Okay, let's circle back to eggs for a moment. People love eggs because they're one of the best sources of complete protein. That is still true. But pumpkin seeds are an excellent complementary protein source. In fact, if you combine pumpkin seeds with foods like oats, legumes, or whole grains throughout the day, you easily hit a complete amino acid profile. This is how plant-based eaters build muscle. It's not about one magical food. It's about hitting your totals across the day. I know some of you want to know specifics, like what the ideal amount of protein per day is for preventing muscle loss. Most research points to roughly 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight if you're active. If you're just focusing on healthy aging, you might be slightly lower. But in general, aiming high is better than aiming low when it comes to protecting muscle. Pumpkin seeds help bridge the gap between what you think you're eating and what your body actually needs. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say your goal is 120 grams of protein per day. You eat eggs for breakfast, maybe 12 grams. A bit of chicken at lunch, 20 grams. Some yogurt later, 15 grams. Dinner might be another 25. That adds up to 72 grams. Most people stop there and think, yeah, I ate plenty of protein today. But you're actually far from your goal. Now imagine adding pumpkin seeds throughout the day. A small serving in your breakfast or smoothie, another 8-10 grams. A handful in the afternoon, another 8. Suddenly you're adding 15 to 20 grams without even noticing. That's how you hit your targets consistently. It's the small additions that matter most. Let's talk about hunger for a moment. Pumpkin seeds are great for muscle health, but they're also fantastic for appetite control. The combination of protein, fiber, and healthy fats helps you stay full longer. If you're someone who gets hungry between meals or struggles with cravings at night, a handful of pumpkin seeds can actually help stabilize your appetite. Compare that to sugary snacks or processed carbs. They spike your blood sugar, then crash it, leaving you hungrier than before. Pumpkin seeds help keep things stable. This is why I always say pumpkin seeds are one of the easiest foods for long-term consistency. You don't have to force yourself to eat them. You just sprinkle them on things you're already eating. Some people even keep a small container of them in their bag, so they always have a high-protein snack ready. It's one of the best habits you can build. One thing to keep in mind, pumpkin seeds are calorie-dense. That's not a bad thing. In fact, it's great if you're trying to build muscle or maintain weight. But it's worth knowing so you stay within your goals. A little goes a long way. You don't need massive amounts. Consistency beats quantity. Let's talk about roasting, because a lot of people ask whether raw or roasted pumpkin seeds are better. Raw pumpkin seeds have slightly higher nutrient content, but roasted ones taste amazing and are still very nutritious. If roasting makes you eat them more consistently, go for roasted. Just watch out for seeds covered in tons of salt or flavored coatings loaded with sugar. The simpler, the better. Here's another cool thing. Pumpkin seeds are incredibly shelf-stable. They last months without going bad. This isn't like fruit that spoils in a week or meat that goes bad if you forget it in the fridge. They're reliable, they don't expire quickly, and they're always ready to go. When it comes to fighting off muscle loss, the best approach is always a combination: protein, strength training, recovery, and nutrient-dense foods. Pumpkin seeds fit into that strategy perfectly. They support muscle, they support recovery, they support energy, they support overall health. It's an easy win. Before we wrap up, let's talk about how to start implementing pumpkin seeds today. Not next week, not someday. Today. The easiest way is to pick one meal you already eat every day and add a tablespoon or two of pumpkin seeds. For most people, breakfast is the easiest. Oatmeal, cereal, yogurt, smoothies, pumpkin seeds fit into all of those. If breakfast doesn't work for you, try lunch. Toss them on a salad, mix them into soup, add them on top of a grain bowl. If dinner works better, sprinkle them over roasted veggies or mix them into rice. The goal is to build the habit first. Once it becomes automatic, and trust me, it will, you can experiment with different recipes. Pumpkin seed pesto, pumpkin seed butter, energy bites, smoothies. You'll find what you enjoy most. The key takeaway here is simple pumpkin seeds are one of the most underrated protein sources on the planet. They give you more protein per gram than eggs. They help support muscle health. They're convenient, they're delicious, they're affordable, and they fit into almost any diet. Plant-based, keto, paleo, gluten-free, whatever you follow. If you're serious about staying strong, aging powerfully, and supporting your muscles, pumpkin seeds should absolutely be part of your daily routine. The next time you're at the store, pick up a bag and start using them. Your future self will thank you for it. And remember, muscle is your body's armor. Protect it. Feed it. Strengthen it. Small habits like this create big changes over time. And here's something a lot of people don't realize when they start adding pumpkin seeds into their diet. Pumpkin seed protein pairs incredibly well with grains and legumes to create a complete amino acid profile, and this is one of the biggest reasons they're so effective for muscle support when you use them strategically throughout the day. Most people hear the phrase, complete protein, and immediately think of meat, eggs, or dairy, because those contain all the essential amino acids in the proportions your body needs. But what many forget is that plant foods can work together to create that same effect. They're like puzzle pieces. On their own, they might be missing certain essential amino acids or have them in lower amounts, but when you combine the right foods, that puzzle becomes whole, giving your muscles everything they need to repair, rebuild, and stay strong as you age. Pumpkin seeds are especially interesting in this context because of their strong levels of certain amino acids, particularly arginine, glutamate, and leucine. Leucine is the amino acid most closely associated with triggering muscle protein synthesis, which is the process that builds muscle. But pumpkin seeds, like many seeds and nuts, are naturally lower in lysine, another essential amino acid your body needs. Lysine is important for tissue repair, immune function, and overall protein formation. Now, here's where the magic happens. Foods like oats, rice, lentils, chickpeas, quinoa, and beans are naturally higher in lysine, and they fill the gap almost perfectly. So, when you eat pumpkin seeds alongside these plant foods, you're giving your body all 9 essential amino acids in a balanced way. It becomes a powerful, complete protein source without even trying. This is something that traditional cultures have done for centuries without ever using the term amino acid profile. Think about it. Pumpkin seeds appear in many cuisines worldwide, and they're rarely eaten alone. They're found in dishes with corn, rice, beans, or grains. These foods naturally complement one another. It's only recently that we've started to break down the science and understand why those combinations work so well. If you look at Latin American dishes, for example, pumpkin seeds, called pepitas, are often used in sauces or added to foods that also include beans or corn tortillas. In Middle Eastern and Mediterranean regions, seeds and legumes are often eaten together. In modern nutrition terms, these pairings create complete protein profiles, but culturally, they've always just been part of the way people eat. To put this into real-life terms, imagine your muscles are like a construction site. Protein is the raw material. The amino acids are the bricks. Some foods give you plenty of certain bricks, but very few of others. Pumpkin seeds give you a heavy supply of certain high-value bricks, but they might be short on others, like lysine, legumes, beans, lentils. Chickpeas give you lots of lysine, but might be lower in another amino acid like methionine, which pumpkin seeds happen to be richer in. When you put these foods together, you're providing your body with every brick it needs in the right amounts, and the construction crew, your muscle building machinery, can work at full power. The best part is you don't have to combine these foods in the same meal for your body to benefit. As long as you're eating these complementary protein sources throughout the day, your body uses them to build complete proteins internally. That means if you have oatmeal with pumpkin seeds for breakfast, a chickpea salad for lunch, and a rice and bean dish with pumpkin seeds sprinkled on top at dinner, you've already created a beautifully balanced amino acid intake. It's effortless once you understand how it works. A lot of people think plant-based protein is automatically incomplete and therefore less effective. But that's not really how the body works. What matters most is total intake and variety. If you give your body the amino acids it needs throughout the day, your muscles will get what they need. Pumpkin seeds make this easier because they're so nutrient dense and they fit into meals without you having to change anything about your eating habits. They don't require you to cook a whole plant-based meal or prepare tofu or tempeh. You literally just sprinkle them onto foods you already eat. For example, let's talk about oats. Oats are surprisingly high in lysine for a grain. They're not perfect, but they're a much better lysine source than many people realize. Pumpkin seeds, on the other hand, are rich in methionine and other amino acids but lower in lysine. When you put oats and pumpkin seeds together, maybe in a bowl of oatmeal, overnight oats, or even a smoothie, your body gets a beautifully balanced amino acid combination. It's a plant-powered protein synergy that works just as effectively as some animal-based proteins when consumed consistently. Same goes for lentils. Lentils are one of the best rich foods on the planet. They're high in fiber, rich in micronutrients, and incredibly satisfying. But they're naturally lower in methionine, which pumpkin seeds provide in abundance. If you top your lentil soup, lentil salad, or even a warm lentil bowl with a handful of pumpkin seeds, you improve not just the flavor and texture, but also the nutritional profile in a very meaningful way. Your body now has access to a more complete amino acid balance, which supports muscle repair after workouts, helps maintain muscle as you get older, and increases overall protein quality. Even something as simple as rice and pumpkin seeds works beautifully. Rice, especially brown rice, contains lysine, and pumpkin seeds fill the amino acid gaps rice lacks. For plant-based eaters or anyone trying to increase their protein intake without relying solely on animal foods, this combination is a total game changer. You can add pumpkin seeds to rice bowls, stir them into fried rice, sprinkle them on top of grain bowls, or even blend them into sauces that go on rice or quinoa. It's all about creating combinations that support your muscles with very little extra effort. Speaking of quinoa, quinoa is technically already a complete protein. It has all 9 essential amino acids on its own, but adding pumpkin seeds to quinoa dishes boosts the overall protein content, increases healthy fats, adds more minerals, and makes the meal even more supportive for muscle health. This kind of layered protein strategy is how you go from eating enough protein to optimizing your intake in a way that truly supports your strength, energy, and recovery. Another pairing that works surprisingly well is chickpeas and pumpkin seeds. Chickpeas are another lysine-rich food. Think of hummus topped with crushed pumpkin seeds, or salads with chickpeas and pumpkin seeds tossed together, or even roasted chickpeas mixed with roasted pumpkin seeds for a crunchy protein snack. These combinations not only taste good, but help your body maintain a balanced amino acid pool. Let's go deeper into the science behind this synergy. When your body breaks down protein, it breaks it down into its amino acids. It doesn't store protein the way it stores fat or carbohydrates, but it does maintain what's known as an amino acid pool, a collection of amino acids circulating in your blood. Throughout the day, your body pulls from that pool to build and repair muscle tissue, produce enzymes and hormones, and perform countless biological functions. When you eat a variety of protein sources, especially complementary ones like pumpkin seeds with grains or legumes, you're constantly replenishing that amino acid pool with what it needs. This ensures that your body can perform muscle protein synthesis efficiently whenever it needs to. Whether you're recovering from a workout, rebuilding tissue after small wear and tear, or just maintaining muscle mass as you age, having a complete amino acid pool makes the process stronger and more effective. This is one of the reasons people who eat a wide variety of plant foods often have no problem building muscle or maintaining lean mass. They might not get complete proteins from one specific food, but when you look at their overall diet, the full picture reveals that they get everything they need. Pumpkin seeds play a big role here because they contribute so many valuable amino acids in a small serving size. They make the protein puzzle easier to complete. Let's talk about convenience again, because this matters more than people realize. The hardest part of eating enough protein isn't usually motivation, it's planning. When you're busy, tired, rushed, or juggling responsibilities, the last thing you want is to prep a full meal just to hit your protein numbers. This is where pumpkin seeds shine. You can carry them with you. You can store them for months. You can add them to almost anything without cooking. And that convenience is what makes consistent protein intake possible for many people. When you combine that convenience with complementary protein sources like legumes and grains, you build a nutritional foundation that supports your muscle health every single day without added stress. Here's a simple example. Imagine you make a bowl of brown rice, black beans, roasted veggies, and avocado. Now sprinkle a handful of pumpkin seeds over the top. That one handful increases your protein, improves your amino acid balance, adds magnesium and zinc, boosts your healthy fats, adds crunch, and makes the meal more satisfying. It's an upgrade that takes 2 seconds but has long-lasting benefits. Or think about smoothies. If you're someone who loves smoothies in the morning or after a workout, throw in a tablespoon or 2 of pumpkin seeds. Then add oats or even a scoop of plant-based protein powder made from legumes like pea or fava bean. Suddenly your smoothie becomes a complete protein powerhouse, even without touching whey or dairy. Let's look at another example, stir fries. A stir fry with tofu, vegetables, and rice already contains a good mix of amino acids. Now add a handful of roasted pumpkin seeds on top before serving. That small addition enhances texture, boosts protein, and balances the amino acid profile in a way that supports muscle recovery after physical activity. This synergy between pumpkin seeds and other plant foods is especially useful for people trying to reduce their reliance on animal protein or balance their diet with more whole foods. It's also a smart strategy for people who have difficulty digesting heavy amounts of meat or dairy. Instead of forcing yourself to eat more of something that doesn't make you feel good, you can simply optimize the plant foods you're already eating. People often underestimate how effective dietary diversity is for muscle health. When you eat more varied protein sources, your body gets a broader range of nutrients. Fiber, phytonutrients, minerals, antioxidants, things you don't get from single protein sources alone. Pumpkin seeds add to this diversity. They're more than just protein. They bring a full package of nutrients that support muscle performance, recovery, nervous system function, and even sleep quality. When paired with legumes and grains, that nutrient profile becomes even more powerful. And this approach is incredibly sustainable. You don't have to overhaul your diet. You don't have to follow a strict plan. You don't have to memorize amino acid charts. You just have to include a small handful of pumpkin seeds alongside the foods you're already eating. It's simple, natural, and intuitive. It's about eating in a way that fuels your body from multiple angles and gives your muscles what they need to stay strong, functional, and resilient over time. This is why understanding how pumpkin seeds work with legumes and grains is such a game changer. It takes something you were probably already eating, rice, oats, beans, lentils, and elevates it without extra effort. Most people are much closer to eating complete proteins than they think. They just need to make tiny adjustments that amplify the benefits. Pumpkin seeds are one of those adjustments. They're an easy bridge between aiding protein and optimizing protein. You create these powerful food combinations without thinking, without tracking, without stress, and your body uses them to support muscle growth, maintenance, and recovery. The result is not just a stronger body, but a healthier lifestyle that feels natural and enjoyable rather than forced or restrictive. And another thing that makes pumpkin seeds far more powerful than most people realize is their zinc content, because the seed's zinc plays a key role in hormone balance that affects muscle maintenance. This is one of those hidden factors almost nobody talks about, yet it influences everything from strength to recovery to how easily you hold onto muscle as you age. Zinc isn't just some random mineral your body uses here and there. It's actually involved in hormone production, immune function, tissue repair, and enzyme activity. When it comes to muscle health, zinc has a direct impact on several hormones that determine how effectively your body builds and maintains lean mass, and pumpkin seeds happen to be one of the richest natural plant-based sources you can find. Most people only think about hormones in dramatic terms: testosterone, estrogen, things like that. But when we talk about muscle maintenance, especially as we get older, we're really looking at how zinc helps support hormonal balance overall. For men, zinc is well known for supporting healthy testosterone levels. This doesn't mean it boosts testosterone to unrealistic levels or acts like a supplement made for bodybuilders. What it does is help ensure your body has the raw materials it needs to maintain normal, healthy levels. Low zinc is often associated with decreased testosterone, reduced strength, slower recovery, and even lower energy. Many people who feel their strength decreasing or feel unusually fatigued during workouts are not actually dealing with a protein issue. They're dealing with a mineral deficiency. For women, zinc is just as important, even though the hormone landscape looks different. Zinc helps regulate overall hormonal balance, supports thyroid function, and plays a role in maintaining metabolic stability. Thyroid hormones, for example, are critical for muscle maintenance, energy production, and metabolism. When thyroid hormones are low or unbalanced, people often feel weaker, slower, and more fatigued, making it harder to maintain or build muscle. Zinc plays a role in converting thyroid hormones into their active forms. Without enough zinc, that conversion doesn't happen effectively, and you may feel the effects without ever understanding the cause. This is where pumpkin seeds come in. Because of their naturally high zinc content, they're one of the easiest ways to support hormonal balance daily. Unlike supplements, which can sometimes cause imbalances if you take too much, pumpkin seeds offer a food-based, moderate, steady source. That steady intake supports your body's natural hormonal rhythm rather than overwhelming it. And since zinc is not stored in large amounts in the body, you need consistent intake from food, which is exactly why adding pumpkin seeds to your routine becomes such a simple but powerful habit. Zinc also plays a major role in protein synthesis itself. Your body cannot build muscle efficiently without zinc. Even if your protein intake is perfect, that means you can drink all the protein shakes you want, but if your zinc levels are low, your body won't be able to fully use that protein to repair and build muscle fibers. Think of zinc like the spark plug in an engine. You can have all the fuel in the tank, but without the spark, the engine won't ignite. When you combine zinc-rich foods like pumpkin seeds with high-quality protein sources, you're not just feeding your muscles, you're enabling your body to use that fuel more effectively. Another important role of zinc is its involvement in immune function. Your immune system might not sound like it has much to do with muscle, but it's actually deeply connected. When your immune system is stressed or overworked, your body diverts resources, protein, energy, nutrients away from muscle repair. This is why people often feel weaker or lose muscle when they're dealing with chronic stress, illness, or inflammation. Zinc helps support immune balance, which indirectly supports muscle maintenance by allowing your body to stay focused on repair instead of constantly fighting internal stress. Zinc also contributes to healing and recovery. After resistance training or any form of exercise that challenges your muscles, your body begins repairing tiny micro tears in the muscle fibers. This is what makes you stronger over time. That repair process requires zinc. Your body uses it to support enzyme activity involved in tissue repair and regeneration. People who recover slowly from workouts or feel sore for days on end often overlook minerals like zinc and magnesium, assuming the issue is just getting older, when in reality, they may simply be low on essential nutrients. Pumpkin seeds provide both zinc and magnesium together, which is a rare and powerful combination for muscle health. Magnesium helps with muscle relaxation and energy production, while zinc helps with repair and hormone regulation. When you eat pumpkin seeds, you're giving your body both sides of the equation, the mineral that supports muscle contraction and energy, and the mineral that supports muscle repair and hormonal balance. This is one of the reasons many people report better workout performance, better recovery, and overall improved energy levels when they start eating pumpkin seeds regularly. And here's something many people never hear. Zinc is heavily lost through sweat. If you're someone who exercises regularly, goes to the gym, runs, plays sports, or even works a physically active job, you're losing zinc every time you sweat. Most people don't replace what they lose. That means active people are even more likely to be deficient without realizing it. Pumpkin seeds offer a natural way to replenish those losses without needing supplements or complicated diets. A simple handful of seeds can help restore what your body loses through physical effort. Another key point to understand is that soil depletion has reduced the zinc content of many foods over the years. Modern farming practices have changed the mineral content